à tous d'être là pour cette occasion tout à fait exceptionnelle qui nous est donnée d'ouvrir le Salon de l'habitat groupé à une dimension internationale.
Spreefeld means it's the field next to the Spree. The Spree is the river that goes through Berlin. In historic times, it used to be out of the city. It used to be a wood market. And nowadays, it's right in the center of the city. You see in the background the TV tower, that's Alexanderplatz. So we are really in the city center. But during the time of the divided city, this was in the eastern part. Directly here there was the wall, and actually there were two walls, one facing the east, one facing the west, and in the middle there was a no man's land, and behind this eastern wall there was an industrial zone, and you see one of the chimneys of one factories, and this factory was a soap factory that is now turned into a luxury flats. So we were really lucky to get this space and build something alternative in this neighborhood. So when the wall fell down, the factories closed, and then various initiatives squatted this place. There were people that were organizing parties. There were huge clubs on these sites. There were people doing their gardening things there. And also the first housing initiatives started. And then in 2009, the whole area was for sale. And a small group of planners and architects actually had this vision for Spreefeld, for new houses there, for alternative houses, and for this cooperative. The piece of land was owned by the federal state, and then we were really lucky that the city council made a so-called redevelopment area in this district. That means that the city council developed certain goals for this area. One was to support social housing, affordable living, and another was to have space for culture, and another was to have a public path going along the river. Because of this redevelopment area, we had the chance to bid on this and to finally get this this land, and also to get it for an affordable price. So it was a private group of people that bought it. They had the legal form of a limited company. In Germany it's GmbH. And later they turned this legal form into a cooperative. So now the soil and the buildings are in ownership of this new housing cooperative. At the beginning, we actually decided on three basic ideas. The one was to keep as many open spaces there as possible, to make it as public as possible. The second was to share as many things as possible. And the third was to make it as sustainable or ecologically friendly. We then commissioned three different architectural companies that did the design of the three houses. But then, as the cooperative grew very quickly, right from the beginning, the future tenants, us, the future the members of the cooperative, could really step into the planning process. Yeah, the houses are also passive houses. We have solar panels on the roof, and many spaces. Like I didn't talk about the option spaces we have in the ground floor. They were constructed by the members of the cooperative, and also some of our flats. And these option spaces, they're huge spaces for the tenants, but also for the neighborhood. We are still, now we live that since 2 years, and we are still in the process of finishing the construction down there. The members of the cooperative were able to raise 30% of the total budget. The total budget was around 17 million euro. So we raised quite a lot. And the other 70% came from a bank. And this loan from the bank has a term of 20 years. And we repay this by our monthly rents. There was a certain financial barrier for everybody who wanted to become a member of the cooperative, but normally I would never get such a loan from a bank, but because the cooperative also was a securing partner, they were like security for the bank, that's why it was possible for me to get this loan. We have a board of 3 members that is voted every 2 years, and then a supervisory board of 5 people that is also voted. We asked a property management company to deal with all the housekeeping, and we have 1 employee part-time working for us in the Spreefeld office. Most of the management work, also the management of these option spaces, is done voluntarily. So we have different working groups that meet regularly, and we have a monthly membership assembly. And since the whole soil and the apartments are in the ownership of the cooperative, they are out of the free market now. So it's secured that our rents are stable and gonna be fair, for sure. And in 20 years, when our loan is paid back to the bank, then the rents can even decrease. But that's something the cooperative decides then. We could also decide to build new houses, for example. Yeah, we are really interested in sharing experiences. That's why we are also here. We do lectures, visits, tours, workshops, all kind of things. And there's especially one agency called ID22 that was already right from the beginning at this site. They're very active on this site, so that's a very important part for us to keep it as public as possible. And in the future, we're gonna have this public path along the river, and then we hope that we then attract even more people that are interested in our cooperative. We are a very open, very sharing, very sustainable community that wants to take an active part in the further development of the neighborhood.
And thank you very much to Spreefeld for, again, your very, very inspiring work, and to demonstrate a way, an alternative to speculation in a prime, amazing area that could have become some private development or whatever, but instead was used to really bring the city in and really create something unique.